Sripada Sreevallabhatvam sadaiva Shridattasman pahi devadhideva Bhavagrahya kleshaharin sukirte Ghorat kashtat uddharasman namaste Tvam no mata tvam pita todhipastvam Trata yoga kshemakrit sadgurustvam Tvam sarvasvam no prabho vishvamurte Ghorat kashtat uddharasman namaste Papam tapam vyadhimadincha dainyam Bhitim klesham tvam harashutvadanyam Trataranno viksha ishastrajurte Ghorat kashtat uddharasman namaste Nanyastrata na pitata na bharta Tvatto deva tvam sharanyo kaharta Kurvatreyanugraham purnarate Ghorat kashtat uddharasman namaste Dharme pritim sanmatim deva bhaktim Satsangaptim dehi bhuktim cha muktim Bhavasaktim chakhilanandamurte Ghorat kashtat uddharasman namaste Shloka panchakametadyo lokamangalavarthanam Prapathenniyato bhaktya Shri Datta priyo bhavet Shri Datta priyo bhavet Shri Datta priyo bhavet Shri Datta priyo bhavet Sripada RAJAM SHARANAM PRAPADHYE Sripada Sreevallabha Charitaamritham Chapter 24 Explanation of Ardhanareeshwara Tattwa. Afterwards, I prayed to Sri Dharma Gupta to explain the inner meanings, if any, of the various ornaments, weapons of Shiva. For that, Sri Dharma Gupta narrated Shankara Bhatta. For Ganapati, Pasham and Ankusham, that is a cord for curbing, and hook are the main weapons. In the same way, Sudarshana Chakra is the principal weapon of Vishnu. Likewise, a trident, that is a Trishula, is the important weapon of Sri Shankara. Trident has 3 sharp points. They are in the form of flames of fire. All the 3 joined together at the bottom and shaped as a single trident. Those 3 points indicate Sattva, Rajas, and Tamogunas. In fact, their unity is beyond the 3 attributes. Trident indicates this inner meaning. Not only that, breath is flowing through Ida and Pingala nerves and reaching the point between the eyebrows in the head. The center point of Brahma Jnana of these 3, Ida, Pingala, and Sushumna nerves, is called as Triveni Sangamam, that is a confluence of 3 rivers. This is the inner meaning of Trishula. The second one of Sri Shankara is Nagabharana. When Kundalini Shakti becomes powerful, Ashta Siddhis, that are 8 types of faculties, are obtained. Kundalini is of the shape of a serpent. To indicate it that way, Sri Shankara Bhagavan is named as Nagabharana. Shiva is also named as Ishvara. All these great siddhis are dangerous like serpents. As he keeps them under his control and utilizes them for the welfare of the world, Shiva also got the name of Ishvara. Damaru, that is a small drum, is tied to the trident of Shiva. The attribute of sound is said to be sky. The vibrations of sound travel in the sky. Vibrations emerge when we chant or hear the mantra japa. Those vibrations cause sounds resembling the sounds from the Damaru of Lord Shiva in our ears. Repeated recitation of mantra gives happiness to yogi. In that ineffable joy, he dances. As a symbol of this only, Parameshwara holds Damaru. Agnya Chakra, located in the middle of the eyebrows, is the center of all knowledge. This chakra has to expand for a wise man to acquire supernatural vision. A yogi will be able to understand past, future, and present only through this chakra. Verily, this Agnya Chakra is the third eye of Parameshwara. If this knowledge eye unfolds, it becomes possible to burn Cupid, the deity of sensual desire. It is said that Shiva resides in burial ground. When all desires are burned to ashes by the fire of yoga, a yogi experiences a state of nirvana, that is liberation, bringing forth profound peace. Knowledge or wisdom is compared with white color. That is vibhuti. A person gets pure wisdom when his thoughts and desires are extinguished. From that, happiness results. The purification of wisdom takes place in 4 stages of natural, supernatural, spiritual, and mental planes. To denote this, devotees of Shiva wear 4 lines of holy ash on their forehead. There is a supreme medicine called Shilajit, which looks like a jelly. Those who eat it remain eternally young. In ancient times, a sage called Shilada was living by eating stones. He incarnated as Nandishvara. Shri Krishna was born in Rohini star in Vrishabha Rashi. Star Aaridhra is the place of Rudra. Mithuna Rashi signifies the phenomenon of Ardhanareeshwara. Vrishabha Rashi appears prior to it in the sky. That Vrishabha is Nandishwara. Nandi shows the form of Dharma. Shiva burnt Manmatha, who belonged to lower nature and who is a personification of lust. Then Manmatha became formless and was connected to the sacred marital dharma of the higher nature. Therefore, Krishna became a disciple of sage Upamanyu. He worshipped Shiva very sincerely, and from the grace of Shiva, he got a son named Pradyumna through Rukmini Devi. This Pradyumna was called in his previous birth as Manmatha of the lower nature. This Vrishabha is the house for both Manmatha and Kama, that is Cupid and lust. All righteous desires belong to the higher nature. To make it known that it is dharma to satisfy them, a ritual known as Vrishotsarjana is performed. Frightful tantric siddhis and powers are as dangerous as tigers. Shiva kept them under his control. Tiger is the vehicle for Shakti. As a sign that he kept Shakti under control as his consort, Parameshwara wore the skin of a tiger. Purifier of the world, the sacred Ganga river dwelling in the coils of locks of Shiva's crest signify pure Brahma Jnana, perennial flow of intelligence and the attainment of immortality. The crescent moon demonstrates the great blissful, joyous, profound tranquility caused by that eternal graciousness. Therefore, that nature of the Chandra Kaladhara, that is the one who wears the crown of moon, is the source for attainment of immortality and a state of ineffable happiness. The inner meaning of Ardhanareeshwara Tattwa is that the life force which enables people to live is divided into two, and that it remains as ovum in the uterus of a female and as sperm in a male, and by the combination of those two, a living creature is produced. However, in creation, an earthworm contains both mother-father constituents. In both men and women, the natures of females and males coexist. It must be noted that in the right side of the body, masculine power, and on the left, feminine power dwells. It should be recognized that the power in the form of breath that circulates on the right side is Pingala Nadi, and that circulates on the left side is Ida Nadi. During the breath control exercise, when breath is inhaled on the right side, heat is generated. So it is called Surya Nadi. When breath is inhaled on the left side, body cools down. So it is called Chandra Nadi. In the body of Kala Purusha, the 6 months extending from Mesha Rashi to Tula Rashi in the zodiac giving heat are to be regarded as Surya Nadi. The other 6 months from Ashvayuja to Phalguna are to be considered as Chandra Nadi. It must be understood that from the motion of sun and moon, full moon and new moon, that is Paurnami and Amavasya phases are formed. A yogi by the exercise of breath control, achieves in his body all the phases in the circle of time. He gets the knowledge of time, which enables him to be aware of everything of past, future, and present. This wheel of time is to be recognized as Ardhanareeshwara Tattwa and as an inseparable couple. Night and day, Paurnami and Amavasya and all such things appear in succession one after another. One is the basis for the other. There can be no day without night and vice versa. Parents who are called Ardhanareeshwaras are the cause for the emergence of this infinite creation. The inner meaning of terming Shiva as destroyer is that old creation exists and new creation is assured. Changes in creation come about naturally. Advent of new creation, its continuance for some time, and again its annihilation are inescapable. If all the astras, shastras, that are the fiery missiles and weapons used in ancient warfare, and mantras are to be achieved, the grace of Ishana Rudra, who is the lord of all the faculties of astras and shastras, has to be necessarily obtained. Then I prayed to Sri Dharma Gupta to explain in detail about the close connection between star Aaridhra and Shiva Parvati. Then he again started narrating. Rudra appears as a hunter holding a bow and chasing a running deer on a hunting spree. This figure is visible in the Aaridhra star in the sky. He works like a hunter. The effect of planetary movement. The image of this hunter Rudra is seen in the constellation across Gemini and Cancer zodiac houses at a corner. When malefic planets like Saturn, Mars and Rahu move near this constellation, universal wars and destruction take place. Battles between devas and demons and the Mahabharata war took place during such planetary movements. Kala Samhara Murti, the dreadful Rudra who holds a bow, was described by Vedas as form of Manyu Devata. The weapon of that Rudra Murti is not trident. Bow only is his weapon. Chaturdashi, which comes before Amavasya in the month of Magha, is called Mahashivaratri. Chaturdashi, which comes before Amavasya in every month, is called Masa Shivaratri. Worship of Shiva during Shani Pradosha time results in removal of malefic influence of Saturn. It is highly important if Mahashivaratri falls on a Tuesday. If Trayodashi falls on Saturday, it is called Shani Trayodashi. To remove different types of troubles caused by Saturn, who causes consequences of fate, Shiva should be worshipped and gingerly seeds should be donated on Shani Trayodashi. Shiva is the lord of Saturn. So, if Parameshwara is worshipped with gingerly oil, the afflictions from Saturn are removed. If during dusk on Saturday, if Shiva is worshipped, all evils from karma get annulled and peace and comfort are obtained because Shiva is the Lord of Saturn. Saturn causes experiencing of karmic results. Shiva means destruction. Every person should worship Shiva during Shani Pradosha time. This worship reduces into ashes all heinous sins arising from inauspicious actions and purifies body, mind, intellect, ego, heart, and soul through fresh, divine, effulgent, auspicious vibrations and bestows a happy new life. For obtaining all these supreme achievements, one should perform worship of Shiva during Shani Pradosha period. By the above procedure, the fury of Saturn will abate. During the night of Saturday, the negative forces ruling over all sorts of sins of that living being, which are forces of misfortune remaining invisible in a thick black color, great destructive powers reside in Mahakali, that is the form of Shakti of Mahakala. The next day, on Sunday, at the time of sunrise, on account of the grace of that Mahashakti dwelling in the center of the region of sun, a new life will commence for the spiritual aspirant. Heaps of inauspicious sins are burnt in the fire of yoga of Sri Parameshwara. The form of Shiva of 5 elements. Shiva is made up of 5 elements. In our body, in Mooladhara, earthly nature is there. As a symbol of this, spiritual aspirants worship Parthivalinga. In the circle of Swadhisthana, nature of water is there. Jalalinga represents this. Circle of Manipura relates to the nature of fire. Jwalalinga represents it. This is also called Hiranyastambha, that is the pillar of gold. Anahata Chakra in the heart is the seat of airy nature. Vayulinga is the symbol of this Vayu Tattva. The Vishuddhi Chakra in the throat, which is the seat of sky, is called Chidambaralinga. This Chidambaralinga, which is called Akashalinga, has no shape at all. The adoration, worship, and darshana of these Shivalingas of 5 elemental forces is highly fruitful. In Chidambara Kshetra, that which lies hidden behind a curtain is called Chidambara Rahasya, that is the secret of Chidambara. Nothing is to be seen when the curtain is lifted. Pure sky is Atmalinga of Shiva. Heart is the seat of spirit, and therefore it is the area of sky wherein the soul dwells. In fact, sky has no form at all. Yogis who concentrate their mind and meditate with single-pointed look upon their real self, the firmament of heart will open up. Entire creation, whole universe, stars, planets and others appear in his heart. Runa means sin. Aruna means sinless. Parameshwara resides in the sky of the heart. Parameshwara exists in Arunachala in the forms of Arunachaleshwara, Arunachala Mountain, and in the person of a Mahasiddha. His darshana diminishes all sins. The same Arunachaleshwara has incarnated in human form in Pithikapuram as Sripada Sreevallabha. Now he is brilliantly shining in divine glory in Kurugadde with a view to liberate us. Kurugadde equals Arunachala Mountain. Arunachaleshwara in the form of Ardhanareeshwara is Sripada Sreevallabha. The great Siddha in Arunachala is also in the guise of this sage. Just as the mountain in Arunachala is indeed the image of Shiva, this Kurugadde also is indeed the form of Srivallabha. Just as the forces of Shiva are in Arunachala Shivalinga, the forces of Shiva are in the person of Sripada Sreevallabha. Seeing Parameshwara in the form of Mahasiddha in Arunachala is very difficult. But this Mahasiddha form in the person of Sripada Sreevallabha is easily accessible. Then I requested Shri Dharma Gupta, "Sir, I heard that Shri Sripada is the combined form of Shri Venkateshwara Swami along with Shri Padmavati Devi. But you affirmed that he is Shiva Shakti Swarupa. You are saying that it is highly meritorious to worship Shiva during Shani Pradosha time. All this is very much confusing to me. Kindly explain." For that, Shri Dharmagupta replied smilingly, "Sir, the divine nature of Shri Sripada Vallabha cannot be comprehended even by the Sapta Rishis. Even then, I would explain to you to the extent of my ability. Lord Shri Venkateshwara is there from Krita Yuga. He gave boons to Dasharatha. As he said that he would be born as Shri Ramachandra, he can also be worshipped as Shri Rama, the son of Kausalya. Shri Venkateshwara Swami was worshipped for some time as Bala Tripura Sundari, a form of Shakti. After some time, he was worshipped in the form of Shiva for some days. Some people worshipped him as Subramanya Swami. After that, on the initiative of His Holiness Sri Ramanuja, he is being worshipped by Sri Vaishnavites as Lord Mahavishnu. Buddhists regard him as the great Shunya, that is vacuum. He is really Lord Datta. This Swami is a highly cunning director of the drama of delusion. He demonstrates his sportive place to those spiritual pursuers who call him in whatever manner by responding to their calls and saving them, and thereby proving that he is the only God. He is the same one who is passing as Sripada Sreevallabha in the world. On the left side of Sripada's body, Shakti travels, and on the right side, Shiva moves. Therefore, he is the personification of Shiva Shakti. Mother Padmavati adorns his heart. Heart is the symbol of mercy. It is the place for Anaghakavachashtakam. Shakti extends from there to upper chakras and lower chakras. A power plexus in the human body is often termed in spiritual language as chakra. Therefore, in another body of divine consciousness, he is Shri Padmavati and Shri Venkateshwara. He is the form of Vani, that is Saraswati, and Hiranyagarbha, that is Brahma also. Vani Devi, That is Saraswati, who expresses herself as Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama and Vaikhari forms of speech dwell on his tongue. The divine consciousness of Mother Vani and Hiranyagarbha remain in a non-dualistic state. The real Chidambara secret is he assumes 3 forms of consciousness at the same time. There is not even a small touch of similarity in any measurement between his body and any other body. He is assuming at the same time the bodies of consciousness of Vani Hiranyagarbha, Shiva Parvati and Padmavati Shri Venkateshwara. Simultaneously, he took a body of consciousness called Sripada Sreevallabha that transcended the above forms of consciousness. This is his Yoga Maya, his Vaishnava Maya, that is the illusion created through yogic powers of illusion of Lord Vishnu. This is his Chidambara mystery. He can be regarded as one belonging to Dvaita or an Advaita or a Vishishtadvaita sects. He can also be considered as one who is above all those. The reason is there is no limits to his Yoga Maya and Vaishnava Maya. For the cunning one who donned the charming figure of Jagan Mohini and distributed nectar only to deities, for the one who enticed Paramashiva in his Mohini form and who made Paramashiva enamored of him without the need for Manmatha, that is Cupid, and for the one who gave birth to Dharma Shasta, what is impossible? For Lord Datta, who imparts the knowledge stating, I am this Mohini form, I am also Dharma Shasta. What is impossible? Atma said that it will create itself through Maya. Is it not? He who is in the form of Mohini created himself as Dharma Shasta. Oh, what a cunning way! Saying this, he struck me with wonder. Victory! Victory to Sripada Sreevallabha! Here ends the 24th chapter of Sripada Sreevallabha Charitaamritham.
Om Shri Anaghakavachashtakam Dattatreyaaya Namaha. Atha Shri Anaghakavachashtakam. Shiro me anagha patu, bhalam me datta bhamini, bhrumadhyam yogini patu, netre patu sudarshini. Nasarandhradvaye patu, yogishi bhaktavatsala, mukham me madhuvak patu, datta chitta विहारिणी. त्रिकण्ठी पातु मे कण्ठं, वाचं वाचस्पति प्रिया, स्कन्धौ मे त्रिगुणा पातु, भुजौ कमलधारिणी. करौ सेवारता पातु, हृदयं मन्दहासिनी, अन्नदा पातु, स्वयं जानाभिमण्डलम्. कमनीया कटी पातु, गुह्यं गुह्येश्वरी सदा, ऊरु मे पातु जम्भग्नि, जानुनी रेणुकेष्टदा. पातु पुत्रदा वैखिलं वपुः वामगा पातु वामाङ्गा दक्षाङ्गं गुरुगामिनी गृहं मे दत्तगृहिणी बाह्ये सर्वात्मिकावतु त्रिकाले सर्वदा रक्षेत् पतिशुश्रुणोत्सुका जाया मे दत्तवामाङ्गी अष्टपुत्रासुतोऽवतु गोत्रमत्रिस्नुषा रक्षेदनघा भक्तरक्षिणी यः पठेदनघाकवचं नित्यं भक्तियुतो नरः तस्मै भवति अनघाम्बा वरदा सर्वभाग्यदा तस्मै भवति अनघाम्बा वरदा सर्वभाग्यदा तस्मै भवति अनघाम्बा वरदा सर्वभाग्यदा